All right, we're going to be going over Chapter 3, Lesson 12, Home Links or Homework. We're going to solve each number story and show your work and make sure your answer is clear. Anton is training for a cross-country race. He ran 2 2/4 miles on Saturday and 2 3/4 miles on Sunday. How much further did he run on Sunday? How do you know? How much further? Well, that tells me we are going to do what? Subtract. So he ran 2 2/4 miles on Saturday and 3 3/4 miles on Sunday. So I'm going to go ahead and set this up. And I'm going to go ahead. I have 3/4 minus 2 2/4. All right. So now we're going to go ahead and subtract. First, I'm going to check to make sure I have a common denominator. And I do, which is fabulous. My denominator is 4. So that's going to save one step from finding a common denominator. Now I have 1, take away 2. Well, I know I can't do that. So I need to go next door and I am going to regroup. We've learned that we can regroup by borrowing a whole or by converting to an improper fraction. So I'm going to go ahead and just convert to an improper fraction because it's a quick step. 3 multiplied by 4 because whole number times denominator is 12 plus numerator is 13, 13/4. Now I can go ahead and I have my next number, which is 2 2/4. Whole number multiplied by denominator is 8 plus 2 is 10. So 10 minus 4, I'm sorry, 10/4, not 10 minus 4. Now I have a new equation, 13/4 minus 10/4. These are just equivalent fractions. I know that 3 minus 10, 13 minus 10 is 3, and my denominator stays the same. So Anton ran 3/4 of a mile more or further on Sunday. And you can go ahead and explain that answer there. How did we get it? So if you need help thinking about how we got it, explain in your steps how we converted to an improper fraction and we subtracted. You might need to watch the video a few times. Nina had 9 apples to share with 5 of her friends. If all 6 people get an equal share, how many apples will each person get? Well, that one's tricky because we have Nina and 5 friends. So I'm glad that they really spelled out that it's 6 people. So 6 people are sharing how many apples? Well, I have 9 apples. I could draw my 9 apples and then I would divide them up by 6. Or I would take 9, divide by 6, and that would tell me A for apple. How much is each person going to get? So now I'm going to go ahead and do some long division. And since it's food, we can split food. I'm going to report my remainder as a fraction. 9 divided by 6. 6 goes into 9 one time. My remainder is 3. My remainder will become my numerator, and my denominator will stay the same. So each person will get 1 3/6 of an apple. So each person will get 1 3/6 of a whole apple. So they're going to get a little bit more than 1 apple. Anna and Daniel are playing fraction capture. So even if you've never played fraction capture, you can still solve this question. So Anna and Daniel are playing fraction capture. Anna is trying to find sections that add up to 3/4. She knows that 1/4 plus 1/4 plus 1/4 equals 3/4. But she wants to earn an extra point for using a fraction with a different denominator. Write another number sentence Anna could use to show a sum of 3/4. Now here I'm not going to write out the answer. Here you can determine the answer. But on this one, we just would find equivalent fractions for 1/4. Well, what else is equivalent to 1/4? I know that 1/4 is the same as 2/8. I know that 1/4 is the same as 1/16, not 1/16, sorry. 4/16 there, sorry. So 2/8 and 4/16 are equivalent to 1/4. So all you're going to do here is then substitute. Pick one of these fractions to substitute. That will be your choice there. Now for these volume composites down here, it's important that we section each off and letter it. So I'm going to say that this rectangular prism is A and this rectangular prism is B. What are the dimensions of A? 5 by 4 by 6. So A equals 5 times 4 times 6. And B equals 3 times 2 times 5. So what is 5 times 4? It's 20. What's 20 times 6? Well, 2 times 6 is 12, and then I just add on the 0. 3 times 2 is 6 times 5 is 30. Now what we would do here is we add up our composite volumes to get 150 centimeters cubed. We would take this and add that right there. Make sure you include your units cubed. Now for this volume composite, we're going to do the exact same thing. Each prism will have its own letter, A and B. I'm going to solve this one up here higher so I don't actually use my answer space like I just did. I have 4 times 10 times 7. Those are my dimensions. So I'm going to go 4 times 10 times 7. And B is 6 by 4 by 4. I know that 4 times 10 is 20. Sorry, not 20. Oh my gosh. 4 times 10 is 40. And 40 times 7, well, 4 times 7 is 28. Add the 0. 280. 6 times 4 is 24. And then I need to multiply that by 4. 96. Now I have these two composites. I'm going to add them up. But I don't like how I wrote so sloppy there, so I'm going to add them up nice and neatly right here. 376 feet cubed. All right, and make sure that you guys on the answers, on the first three, that you actually stop and you explain your answer. I didn't want to explain the answer there because I want you to be able to watch the video and construct meaning from the video.